Hello, is it everything okay with voice and video? Okay, good. So today I will continue to analyze my match against Artur Yusupov in 1991. So it was 8 games match. First game ended with draw. I was white. So in second game I was black. Artur played d4, played knight f6, c4, e6. Knight c3, bishop b4. Nemtsovich defense. e3 played Artur. Rubinstein system. c5 is my choice. And bishop d3. Very solid line. Another line here is knight e2. To prepare a3 and take with knight. Please confirm that everything is going good and everybody can hear me and can see me. Perfectly. Okay, so after knight g2, black has several options. For example, my neighbor Oleg Romanishin likes to play b6 here. After a3, bishop a5. This system. Idea is if white wants to utilize immediately strange position of bishop with rook b1, knight a6, queen a4. So b4 looks like threat. But the problem for white is that black will not play queen e7. It looks like natural reaction. Because after d takes c5, not possible to take with pawn, because bishop is hanging. After knight takes c5, queen c2. b4 is threat, so bishop takes c3, only move. Knight takes c3, and white is better here. For example, after bishop b7, just f3, and next move b4 is coming. And white has two bishops advantage and quite comfortable position. But instead of queen e7, much better to play bishop b7. This is the correct idea, and the problem for white is that b4 doesn't work because bishop c6. And after b5, black has bishop e4. Rook is attacked, and after rook a1, knight b8. So this position is totally fine for black. And if white plays knight b5, black can just take. And after rook takes b4, just castle is very strong with threat a6. Immediately a6, knight d6 check is less clear, but now situation is very bad for white. For a6 is threat, so what to do? Queen b3 or queen a3, but both of these moves are bad. For example, queen a3, black can just take, play queen e7, after bishop d2, knight e4. Black is winning. So, castle is correct move. If queen b3, same idea, takes. Sorry? Elizabeth, you mean English queen? Okay, my sympathy. My respect to this woman. Queen e7, and white is losing here, because if bishop a3, knight d5, if bishop d2, knight e4. So white cannot avoid material losses. But okay, of course, this variation is not necessary for white. White has many other options. For example, even f3 is interesting option. Hello. To prepare king f2. Also g3 it's possible here. This idea if bishop b7, d5, e takes d5, bishop g2. Thanks for subscription. Okay, so nice memory for Elizabeth. We can do 1 minute of silence to memory of English Queen, and then I will continue my report. Yes. Okay, I need to continue. So knight g2 is another option. Of course, black has another option. So b6 is not only move for black. For example, c takes d4, e takes d4. Castle, a3, bishop e7, d5, e takes d5, c takes d5 is another theoretical line. Now black has choice between bishop c5 or rook e8. Дякую, доброго вечора. Мені також було приємно зіграти і приємно було зачепитися за приз в титульному вівторку. Гарного вам неба. В цій позиції, in this position, d6 is threat, so black usually plays bishop c5 or rook e8. For example, if rook e8, the most aggressive line is d6, bishop f8, g3. If rook e6, bishop f4, knight h5, for example, bishop e3, rook takes d6, queen b3, and then bishop g2, and castle is coming, and white has more than sufficient compensation for the pawn. Boris Gelfand played this line with white. Another possibility is d5 here, c5, knight e4, bishop d2, knight takes d2, queen takes d2, a5. Idea if a3 to take, and a4. A lot of theory here. Thanks for subscription. Brazilian. Okay, maybe one day I will come back to Brazilian. I have excellent memory about Caxias do Sul tournament. So, Okay, knight g2 is possible, or knight e2 is correct, because another knight cannot go to e2 because of pin. But okay, Artur played bishop d3, I played knight c6, knight f3, the most solid line. Another possibility is for white is to play a3, Zamish system, very sharp system, because black has double pawns, white has double pawns, c3 and c4, black can try to attack them with b6, bishop a6 and future. But okay, white has active prospects at the center and king's flank. Also knight g2 is possible, takes, d5, c takes d5, knight takes d5, castle. It's another possible line. So knight f3 played Artur, and now I played d5. It's one of possible lines in this position. Another very popular line is just take on c3 and to play d6. Idea to play e5. Okay, so d5 I played castle. During last time, very popular system here is c takes d5, e takes d5, d takes c5. Idea to play against isolated pawn. But Artur played castle. I played castle as well. Another very interesting line here is take on c4, and after bishop takes c4 to play castle. And if a3, bishop a5. This is idea. Somewhere black is ready to play bishop b6. If d takes c5, bishop takes c3. And black can take back. Can black go to play against isolated pawn? Against isolated pawn. You mean something like this? Okay, if black wants to play against isolated pawn, usually black doing another move order. Knight f3, d5, and after castle, this, and b6. So it's not necessary in this variation to develop knight to c6, bishop b7, knight bd7 very often. If I have knight on c6, it's less comfortable to play in against isolated pawn, because it's less flexible. Another option is a6 to prepare b5. And one of theory line is knight e5. Probably this is not the best, but I will just illustrate that like theory lines on this. This. Bishop e2, bishop takes c3, b takes c3, queen takes e2, queen takes b8, knight d5. Black is fine here according to the theory. Okay, of course, bishop b3 is interesting line. This idea if b5, d5, bishop takes c3, d takes e6, promising sacrifice of piece. And after b6, a lot of theories. So we will see this position in the match later. But in this game I played knight c6, so I played castle. Now again white can take on d5 and take on c5, and then after bishop takes c5, h3, and then b3, bishop b2, knight e2 is standard plan. d4 immediately doesn't work because knight a4. Black is losing this pawn. If, for example, a6, b3, d4, e takes d4, knight takes d4, bishop b2, it's not totally equal position because white pieces are more active than black ones. But okay, so a3 standard move, bishop takes c3, takes, and I took on c4. More flexible line to play queen c7. And Black allows c takes d5, e takes d5. This is playable position for both. Now knight h4 may move according to the theory. If, for example, white wants to have same like in the game, so queen c2, black can try knight a5. If c takes d5, c4 is coming. It's a good position for black. So this is difference. I2, queen c7. Now black, it's classical line, white has choice. I played this position with white successfully. I played bishop b5 against Sergei Tivyakov, but Artur played bishop d3, standard plan. Played e5, queen c2. He stopped at e4. Played rook e8. D takes e5. So he is playing in classical style. e4 is very sharp line, but e4 Ivan Sokolov played successfully against Garry Kasparov. So I remember this bishop g4, e5. Bishop b2. So Kasparov played rook a d8, according to my memory. G takes f3. Like this. And king h1 was played. And now Garry Kasparov made mistake. He took the bishop, and after rook g1, king h8, rook g3, this position is very bad for black, because another rook is coming to g1 and white has mating threats. Correct choice instead of rook takes h7, natural capture, was king f8 here. And after king f8, black is totally fine, because now queen is hanging and white has no good move with his queen. For example, if queen e4, f5 is coming, important trick. And if bishop takes d4, rook takes d4, and black has threat rook h4. So this position is totally fine for black after king f8. But okay, Artur took on e5. Knight takes f3. This position was played many times, also in the match between Anatoly Karpov and Boris Spassky. So white has two bishops advantage, black has active pieces, but of course if white will consolidate position, so if imagine that, for example, white plays e4, bishop e3, bishop f2, and black not do anything, it can be unpleasant. Question why I don't commentate going line. Now you mean Sinquefield Cup or something like this. What do you mean? Okay, sometimes I'm doing this. So my last experience was I commented candidates tournament. Yes, I candidates tournament. I commented. Okay, I can do also. How many rounds they played in Sinfield Cup already? Thanks for subscription. How many rounds? 5 rounds? 6 rounds. Okay. How many players? 12 or how many players? They are playing round 6 now. Okay. 10 players, so 9 rounds. So today is round 6, so 7, 8, 9 left, right? Simultaneous, I don't play simultaneous. Okay, so I think it's possible I can do comment, not today, but maybe one of these rounds. So 10 players, now 9 players, because Carlsen withdrew from the tournament, right? Okay, so one of the round, as I understand, there is 9 players now. So in each round, there are 4 games, and one player has free day, right? Or not? Okay, anyway, I will check it. What I'm thinking about game against Hansen, against Carlsen and Niemann. Okay, I didn't analyze this game deeply, but after the opening, Magnus was in inferior position, and then he lost gradually. So, okay, what special I can think about this game? Queen takes d4 was novelty, okay, but unfortunately, I don't remember position. Okay, if this really interesting question, please write me moves till queen takes d4. So if you want to discuss. So I remember it was something like g3, d5, bishop g2, castle, and from now, can you help me to put position till queen takes d4? Knight f3 or a3, what was here? If you want, of course. Because I don't remember exactly. If somebody can give move still queen takes d4, we can discuss about this position. But if not, okay, we'll come back to my game against Yusupov. So knight f3 or a3 was played, I don't remember. d5. a3, bishop takes c3, b takes c3, and c5 or what? Or d takes c4. D takes c4, okay. Now, what was now? Knight f3, okay. c5. Okay. Oh, okay. After castle. Okay. C takes d4, queen takes d4, right? This. And now knight c6, queen takes c4, e5. Yes. Okay, but knight c6 and e5 is extremely natural reaction. Okay, bishop g5, bishop e6, very natural move. So okay, so black played the most natural moves in position. H6 firstly. Okay, h6 is also natural move. Okay. Rook fd1 and now bishop e6, right? Okay. Okay, please give me a text. I will come back in 2 minutes. Please write me text of this game. Aha. Okay, I mean just opening. Uh, okay, I will not all the game. Bishop g5, rook fd1, bishop e6, rook takes d8, bishop c4. So takes, 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 takes. Okay, so now it's enough for me. It's totally clear that white is fighting only for draw here. So white cannot pretend for more than draw. But okay, so he played king f1. Okay, he played king f1, rook d8, king e1, knight e5. So okay, so very obvious that okay, I'll check. Okay, about King's Indian, it's another question. Okay, so I cannot, sorry, I cannot to answer immediately for totally different questions. So now we are speaking about game Carlsen Niemann. There is question about King's Indian. It's totally different. So, but okay. The rest is not so important for me. Okay, when I see this position, so total collapse for white. So white is obviously worse without contraplay. For me, it's a big question why Magnus didn't play knight d2 here. Because after bishop takes e2, knight e4. Okay, anyway, white is fighting for draw, but it's good chances. Okay, f6 pawn is hanging, so... Okay, but black can do something like this, and king g7, so, and then knight a5 somewhere. Anyway, not pleasant for white, but white has good chances for survive. But okay, so here it's very easy to understand that white is suffering. So it's a big question. Okay, big question if queen takes d4 was novelty, if it was preparation of Magnus, so what he missed. So after a series of quite natural moves. Of course, black has alternatives, but knight c6 and e5 the most natural reaction. So after bishop g5, okay, now bishop e6 probably was resolvable. He played h6, but hard to believe that h6 could be big surprise for Magnus. And okay, maybe white can play take this and play knight bd2. I don't think that white is worse here, because they want to play knight e4 somehow. It's hard to believe, although, that white is fighting for advantage as well. Black can play even queen e7, for example. Takes pawn is dangerous. Okay, so this is logical alternative. Takes, takes, and knight d2. But Magnus played rook fd1, and not so difficult to see bishop e6. And now, okay, he is suffering already. In my opinion, knight d2 probably was the best chance, but anyway, it's... Okay, so maybe here knight d5, so white has good chances to draw, but obviously black is stronger here than white. But after king f1, okay, again, natural moves, and after knight a5, sorry. Okay, of course, I cannot claim that this position already winning for white, but it's just a dream to reach such a position. So, big question what Magnus missed in his preparation. I don't know. I have no idea. So, what he expect? Maybe he expect bishop e6, and he had some idea here, but what is his idea? So, if bishop e6. For example, queen b5, queen c7, so I don't see any problem for black in this position. Of course, white can take on f6. Okay, maybe try to utilize somehow knight h4, something like this. With idea bishop e4. Probably this was preparation of Magnus, but okay, it's very unclear position. So chances for attack is problematic. Black can play, for example, rook b8 to prepare knight e7. This pawn are weak, a3 and c3. So okay, but probably Magnus could consider bishop e6 like main line. So, but hard to believe that he missed h6. And okay, so very strange questions. What missed Magnus in his preparation? And rest of game, okay, so black is clearly better, and notice my plan today, analyze this endgame seriously. My plan was to analyze my game against Yusupov. So, very strange preparation of Magnus. From black, it's quite natural play. At least it seems me like natural. So, okay, about King's Indian. Okay, for in my opinion, it's totally playable openings. Okay, of course, white has space advantage and some variations. Knight h6 is. In some variation, black needs to demonstrate good knowledge, especially, for example, in this line. If we are speaking about King's Indians, for example, in this line, black need to be very well prepared if they want to play knight c6. Of course, there are other options like knight bd7, for example, but if knight c6, d5, knight e7, knight e1, so for example, in these lines, black need to demonstrate very good preparation. So it's not possible to play by intuition such a position. For example, g5, rook c1, knight g6, c5, this idea. If knight takes c5, b4, knight a6, knight d3, white has very good compensation because of awkward position. Bishop g4, bishop g4 here, yes, it's also possible. It's a little bit strange for me because white has good version of Petrosian system after d5, but it's matter of taste, of course. So King's Indian, it's totally normal opening in my opinion. Okay, white has big choice of aggressive plans. Yes, d5, a5, bishop g5, and then knight d2 is coming. For example, knight a6, knight d2, okay. Bishop d7. No, we can do something. Maybe even a3 is possible. Yeah, because at the moment a4 is impossible. So white plan is to prepare rook b1 and b4. Okay, it seems me like natural reaction, at least from white against bishop g4. Well, but let's come back to my game. Okay, but King's Indian, but in each opening there are a lot of theories, so you cannot find any opening, especially for black, if you want to play with black, which not require a lot of theoretical knowledge, so it's totally impossible. So if you want to play King's Indian, you can play King's Indian. If you want to play another opening, please do it. So I took, and we'll play bishop d7. Okay, probably other moves are possible. Bishop e6 probably is possible. Bishop d7, it's trick. White cannot play e4 immediately because bishop a4. This is tactical idea. But sorry if it works. Now I'm not sure if it works because takes and queen c2. And if this is losing. Grunfeld, okay, but who can confirm that Grunfeld require less knowledge than King's Indian? Okay, so probably e4 is possible. So, maybe queen d4 check. If king h1, now okay, c4, bishop takes c4, however. And after rook c8, bishop takes f7. So bishop a4 is not possible, probably. Okay, but maybe after e4, black has something else. c4, maybe. c4 is possible, but bishop e2, and what is this? Of course, white cannot take because queen c5. But what is after bishop e2? So bishop a4 is not possible. It's just losing move. Or maybe rook d8. Now rook d8 doesn't help because bishop c4. If queen takes a1, bishop b2. What about, yes, c4, so bishop a4 is wrong here. So c4 probably is correct, but c4, bishop e2, and I don't know, what, maybe knight d5 is possible. Maybe this was idea. black should do something, because if, for example, to play this, bishop e3 and bishop d4 is coming, white is clearly better. So c4 probably, bishop e2, knight d5, probably this is correct idea. If bishop takes c4, knight takes c3. Now black has threats, queen d4 or queen c5. If bishop e3, rook c8 probably. Anyway, not obvious for me what is this queen b3, for example. f7 is hanging, b7 is hanging, a7 is hanging. So, yeah, rook takes c4, queen takes c4, bishop b5. I see this idea, but I'm not sure that this is totally equal. Maybe white is slightly better here. For example, queen c5. Takes, 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 takes. b6. Bishop b4, for example. Well, okay, maybe black can make draw, but it's unpleasant. It doesn't look like easy draw for black here. So it is endgame when black is suffering somehow. So probably e4 is possible as well. Oh, of course, maybe black can do something like queen c5 check. Okay, but king h1. If, for example, bishop c6, a4 is possible. Probably that's bishop a3, queen e3, bishop c4. Rook d2 also. Probably black has some contraplay. If queen b3, knight takes e4, I don't know if it works or not, but at least black has some threats. For example, if takes, takes, if takes, queen e2, and black is winning. White cannot protect g2 pawn. Of course, this line is not forcing. But at least not so. Of course, bishop c1 is draw. So white can force draw if they want. So if white wants to play for win, it's possible. For example, this is possible to consider. If rook d2, my idea to play queen c1. Probably this is fine for white. I'm not totally sure, but bishop takes c4 is threat now. And what black can do. So e4 probably it's quite interesting move. During the game, I don't remember what I planned, but playing. I'm not playing here, so Yusupov book series, okay, Yusupov. Together with Dvoretsky, they wrote many of good books. That's true. So e4 was possible as well, but okay. Artur played different line. So he played a4 prophylactic moves. Well, my problem is that I cannot play knight d5 because bishop takes h7. It's unpleasant. And if king h8, bishop e4, probably it's not totally enough for black. Knight takes c3, obviously impossible because bishop b2, it's very simple. Queen takes c3. White has several options. Okay, maybe the simplest take rook b8, bishop a6. White has pawn up and the bishop and wanders. It's not easy to understand how black can reach draw. But okay, I played rook c8. Rook c8, I remember I was very disappointed after the game with rook c8 because rook c8 looks like idea to prepare c4, but anyway, white is planning to play e4 and I can play c4 without rook c8. So probably with rook c8 I'm just losing tempis. Much more logical probably was to play something else like bishop c6 or rook d8, for example, because after e4 I can play h6 is possible as well, but okay, h6 e4. If c4, bishop e2. And what is my plan? This is the question. So now white wants to play bishop e3 and bishop d4. So black should play something. I don't know. Don't know what should play black. Now it's not so easy question. Knight d5, bishop c4, queen c5, of course. It's a very simple reason, I already explained it. So h6, e4, c4, bishop e2, knight d5, well, it's logical, it's possible, but is it totally good? For example, I can play this. If knight f4, just take probably even, okay, I can just take here and here. After rook c8, of course, black has chances to survive, but white has pawn up. f5 instead of f4. f5 here. No, f5 is just losing because bishop takes c4. Takes. f5 is not. And also bishop takes c4 immediately is possible to consider. Check, sorry. Queen c5 check, king h1. And for example, if queen takes c4, bishop takes f4. white is pawn up. If f5, important that white has rook fd1 and rook d4 is coming. So this idea doesn't work. Okay, maybe knight h3 is possible, but white cannot play queen b3, of course, because queen g1 and knight. But so bishop takes f7, king takes f7, g takes h3, bishop takes h3, queen b3 check probably. King f8, okay, it's interesting position. White has some problem with his king. But now bishop c1. Sorry. Black king is not safe as well. Yes, after bishop c1, white has winning chances. No, sorry, something strange. Bishop c1, bishop e6. Yes, I have seen, but white pawn up. Okay, black has chances for even rook b1, rook b7, so it's bad. First of all, I am not Ivan, I am Vasily. So it's bad because rook b1, rook b7 is coming. So this line looks like good for. Okay, anyway, so rook c8 I played a very strange move. Rook e1. Another prophylactic move. So after e4, c4, bishop e2, knight d5. This was my idea. And now rook on c8 is useful because white cannot take the pawn c4. So this was my idea. But he played rook e1. So he is preparing very good square for his bishop. f1 square. And big question what to do, because now white okay, maybe it was a good moment to start contraplay with h5, I don't know. Yes, maybe h5 is possible. Normal move. Doesn't look like crazy, but what is my idea after e4? If h4, f4 probably is possible. Okay, probably it's not so clear, so probably black can play this. G5. In which moment G5? Here G5. G5. But what is idea? Okay, maybe there is some reason with G5. H5, E4. Oh, okay, but G5, I consider it with idea knight D5 probably and knight F4 later. But now white can take. It looks like promising for white or not. But maybe C4 here is possible. What is this? If E takes D5, C takes D3. Interesting position. Question how to evaluate it. For example, queen d2, queen takes d5, bishop e3, or bishop f6. Bishop f6. Sharp position, but looks like better for white because black has permanent problem with his king. Okay, another proposition was g5. Okay, maybe it's possible. But what is my plan if bishop e3? I'm playing from my kings. And now white has positional threat queen d2 or queen c1 even. Also maybe immediately queen d2 was possible. g5 without h5. To play queen. Sorry. g5 without g5. Okay, if e4, what is your plan? g4. If I play f4. Where queen will go? Queen h5. Okay. Okay. Yeah, maybe black has contraplay here, but if g3, I'm planning to play h3. Knight g4. Rook c6. Rook c6. Somewhere bishop b5. Okay, for example, e4, very natural move. With knight h5 and bishop b5 is possible. Okay, so maybe h5 and h4 was... But white even can ignore my pawn, bishop e7. If h3, g3 is possible, maybe even g4 is possible. White bishop seems quite strong. Okay, so I don't know what is the best choice. It's quite difficult. Okay, rook ed8 anyway, it's a strange move, I agree, but at least not... Okay, rook e6 is proposition. If e4, knight h5, and then rook g6. Okay, let's start to check concrete play. Rook f8 maybe, because if queen takes b7, queen takes c3 is possible somehow. Or bishop h3 firstly, and then... Yes, rook takes g2. What is this? Just give the rook. So if queen takes b7, bishop h3 is possible. And then queen takes... Or maybe immediately queen takes c3. Okay, rook e6 is an interesting plan. Bishop c4. Yes, why not? Yes, it's very logical. So after rook e7, just e4, and white has pleasant position. Yes, bishop c4 is... Rook d6. But now e4, if knight h5, maybe now queen b3. e6. If rook g6, for example, rook d1, bishop h3, rook e2. So bishop takes f7 is meaning. Okay, so interesting position. Коли буде стрім на рідній мові, розумієте, що вам я можу на це сказати? Мені зручніше робити стрім англійською мовою, а коли хтось підключається з українськомовних, то я відповідаю українською мовою. Тому що, коли я роблю українською мовою, все одно хочуть дивитися люди з інших країн, і тоді мені складніше всім переходити на англійську. Глядачів з України є менше, але я всім говорю тим, хто з України, що коли ви пишете українською мовою, то я відповідаю українською мовою теж. Поки що такий метод ведення стріму є якось більш зручнішим, враховуючи те, що з інших країн світу більше людей дивляться стріми, ніж з України, а українцям я завжди можу відповісти українською мовою, що я і роблю. I explain in Ukrainian for Ukrainian viewers. But anyway, rook ed8 looks like signs that something wrong with my strategy. Okay, maybe h5 is good idea, but after e4, not h4, but knight d5 to play. Pawn c3 is more or less attacked, and if bishop d2, I can play. Okay, about c4 I'm not sure, because here, well, even here black has chances to draw after queen f5 or queen d6, but maybe knight f4 is more easy. And then h4. Bishop b2. Okay, bishop b2 is possible, but knight f4 is... now maybe I can consider even c4 to block your bishop, because after this I can take, and after queen d3 I can take, and here I think black is not worse. Okay, for example, if c4 I can force a draw. So probably this was correct idea to play h5 with idea h4, if e4 to play knight d5. Of course, there are several questions. For example, bishop c4. Okay, bishop c4. My idea is if knight takes c3 to play bishop e3 and prepare rook a3. Try to win this knight. And probably black can play b5 also, with good chances for draw. But also after bishop c4, black can consider queen takes c3. And two rooks are hanging, so white need to take, and now white cannot win knight because pawn a4 is hanging. So maybe h5 was a good choice after e4 to play knight d5. If bishop d2, knight f4. Now black is prepared to play h4 in some moment. So probably h5 was the best. Anyway, rook ed8 looks like something wrong. So dubious move. Rook ed8. And he played e4. I played now knight d5. So I am using same plan, but h5, h4 looks like better than what I did. Okay, knight f4 anyway was a very natural move here. After bishop f1, bishop c4, bishop e6 is coming, so bishop f1, very natural move for white. And now white is preparing for bishop e3. Anyway, I can play h5 and h4, probably it was the best plan in this position. But rook ed8 looks like losing of tempo if I'm planning to play h5 here. So I played knight b6. Strange idea. c4 is also possible to consider. Okay, but c4, white can play bishop f1 at least. Knight is hanging now. If knight f4, bishop e3, and bishop d4 is coming. So it's not pleasant for black. But I played knight b6. A little bit strange idea. It looks like I want to utilize some tricks on d line, but he just ignored my threats, so he played a5. Queen c1, in which position queen c1? In which moment queen c1, sorry. Here queen c1, knight d3. Okay, bishop e3 is very natural move. When knight f4, queen c1, okay, but knight d3. This is... White has no reason to provoke this. Pawn d3 is not weak. And white cannot play bishop e3 because... Well, queen c1 is not the best idea, but bishop e3 looks like very solid and good. But I played knight b6. Anyway, knight f4, bishop f1, and probably h5 was the best option here to prepare h4. But question how good is this position? Okay, for example, bishop e3, h4, rook a d1. Maybe white is slightly better. Maybe nothing special after bishop e6, for example. So knight f4 was correct move anyway. So knight b6, I played a5. He played a5. Probably I had idea to play bishop a4, but after bishop a4 he can just play queen b2. After rook takes d3, a takes b6, and I am just losing material. So I cannot do it. So knight b6 was bad move, looks like. So a5, so c4 I played. So what I want? Probably I wanted just a moment, please. Is it possible to hear me? Is it everything okay? Is it everything okay? Okay, good. So I played c4, bishop a4 was bad, so probably my idea was to play knight a4. It looks strange anyway. I'm trying to understand what is this. Okay, because, maybe bishop a4 I have idea. But anyway, it looks like extremely dangerous for black. For example, white can play queen b2, and after queen takes a5, bishop e3, and I am pawn up, but my pieces are under very unpleasant pins, so this position looks ugly for me. So probably bishop f1 was if bishop a4 queen b2 simply, and bishop e3. If knight a4, probably bishop e3 is possible as well. And I'm but now I can take with here and prepare b5. So this is not so clear. Probably this was my idea. Yes, now white cannot prevent b5, so knight a4. Probably it was my hope that white cannot defend his pawn on a5 in good way. Of course, not possible to take on a4 because d2 is hanging. But my opponent simply took queen takes d3. Bishop e6 I played. Okay, it looks like I have good chances for the... Okay, so knight a4 is really good. a6 here. a6 b5 I can play. Or just take on a6 may be possible. So even take is possible. So it's not so clear because bishop b5 is coming, knight c5. So probably it was my idea to play knight a4. But okay, knight b6. Anyway, it looks very strange, but who knows? Bishop b5 instead of bishop e6. Let's see. Bishop b5. It's possible. Okay, queen e3, for example. Yes, it looks logical. a6 is possible, for example. Rook d3 doesn't work because white can take. It works also. Because after this, black can just take, and bishop e8. Black is winning. So bishop b5 probably was good move. So queen e3, even rook d3 is possible. Yes, why not? You are right. Queen f4 also. Yes, it looks like black has totally enough contraplay for draw, but maybe not so simple. So queen c5, bishop e3 is coming, so it doesn't work, and b takes a7. So black should take, and now after a6 or after a takes b6, bishop e5, still unpleasant, because bishop will go to d4. But okay, maybe a6 is the simplest to prepare rook d3. Now I see the position. It looks like black has totally enough compensation for the pawn. So probably knight b6 wasn't mistake. Probably it was creative idea. Knight b6. Okay, so rook d8. Maybe it wasn't bad at all. But okay, maybe e4 wasn't the best. Maybe the best was bishop f1, for example. Prophylactic move. So I have doubts now that e4 was the best. So why not bishop f1? To avoid any tactics on d line. So probably bishop f1 was stronger. Okay, but let's so probably bishop f1 at least interesting. So e4, knight d5. So probably knight b6 wasn't the best, the bad idea. Bishop takes a5, c4. Yes. So my plan is to play knight a4 and take with queen. So takes. So bishop e6, strange move. Probably bishop b5, queen e3, a6, f4 was proposition. Okay, but f4 is positionally very risky, because bishop will go to c6, and black and white has problem with diagonal. For example, queen c6 is possible, then rook c4 is coming. So yes, or even a6 was possible, flexible move. Now also maybe queen d5 is possible. If it, but now I can take and play bishop b5, and white cannot protect the pawn. Maybe I can try something like this. I don't know if it's. Black has some problem with b7 pawn, but maybe it's possible to solve it somehow. Okay, but bishop b5 was more active, I agree. So bishop b5 after queen e3, just play a6. Yes, rook d3 is coming. Rook c5. You mean in a6 line. a6, queen d5, takes. Now bishop b5 or rook c. If rook c5, d6 is even possible. Also, maybe. Okay, so for example, this, rook c5, bishop f4 was. White can just take on b7. No, rook c5 not possible. If takes and rook c5, bishop f4 is unpleasant. And rook d1, rook d8 is coming. It's just losing. Maybe now rook c5 is possible. Although maybe because if d6, bishop e6. White pawns are blocked somewhere. But yes, I agree that bishop b5 was the best move. Good knight. So probably knight b6 is not mistake, but okay, so this. So I should play bishop b5 with quite with totally playable position, it looks like. But I played bishop e6. Probably this is dubious move. Queen e3, and I took the pawn. Again, a6 was possible. With the idea to prepare rook c6 or bishop c4, rook d3. So even here looks like my compensation for the pawn is totally enough for draw. For equal position, it's not drawish position, but at least I'm not sure that white is better here, but I took him. He played rook eb1. But even now doesn't look that my position is bad. But I played queen c5. Queen c5 is a bad move because my king is safer, and I can utilize this factor only with queens. So without queens, white is better. So probably I should play b5 here. And then bishop c4. If queen c5, rook b6 is proposition. No, rook b6, rook takes d2. White is losing the piece. Because after this there is no mate. If rook a8, rook c8, or rook b6 is impossible. Yes, but queen c5 is bad move, by the way. So I should play b5, of course. Very natural move, and I'm... Okay, bishop e1 is very logical for white. But anyway, so what white wants? For example, if I just play h6. Rook a7, rook d7. It doesn't look like danger for me. If rook a7, rook d7. But now. It could be a problem if white can bring bishop somehow on d4, but how realize this idea I don't see. Because if bishop g3, queen takes c3 is always possible. So even this position looks like totally playable for me. Oh, f4 is always risky. Okay, maybe it's possible by concrete reason, but it's very double-edged move. I can play queen h5, if f5, bishop c4, and then somewhere rook e8, and rook b4, rook d4, in which moment? Here rook b4. Well, but I can play bishop c4. And rook d3 is coming. Rook d1, rook d4. Rook d1. But again I can play this. But rook d4, if b4, rook d1 is possible. This idea. Like this. Maybe this is better for white. Okay, so rook d1. Let me see. Yes, but anyway, is it so dangerous? No, for example, I can take and play rook c4. It looks like black is very close for draw here. If rook d4, king h7, simply possible. To avoid rook d8 check after queen c5. It looks like it should be draw. So queen c5 was the bad move. So he took on c5 and bishop e1. And now queen a7. Какую книгу для становления? Ну, тут вам сложно ответить, потому что непонятно на какую тему. Либо дебют, либо эндшпиль, либо миттельшпиль. То есть тут так сложно мне ответить, смотря что вы ищете для себя. Okay, so this position is really unpleasant for me already, because I have very weak pawn on b7, and I have no time to prepare bishop c4, b5, something like this. So now I'm really suffering. Also, of course, my chances for draw are quite good. Rook a8 is proposition. Стратегию, ну, может быть, Гельфанда посмотрите книгу. About positional game. Книга Гельфанда по стратегии хорошая. Именно Миттельшпиль. There is proposition rook a8. Okay, rook a8. No, rook a8 impossible, because black cannot play even rook a1. It's mate. Okay, so okay, rook d7 looks like logical move, but he played rook b5. And this is very important, because he not... Okay, but I don't know why not rook a7. Rook a7, I have b5. Пожалуйста. If rook a7, b5, I can... this trick. So he played rook b5, now he... Yes, rook a7, b5, yes. But he played rook b5, and now very important that I cannot play bishop c4, because rook takes c5. And I played h6, and I lost pawn, but Yes, bishop c4 is not possible, but big question, why not f5 here? F5 looks like very logical move. So why I don't play this? Okay, I'm still suffering, so he's taken. Now bishop white can try to attack this pawn, but how? Maybe bishop f2 probably. Yeah, but okay, I have this. Now rook a7. It's unpleasant. I cannot protect my pawn. So f5 takes, and bishop f2. Rook d3, yes, rook d3 is possible, but white can just protect his pawn, and I will lost. g4, g4. No. Okay, this and bishop f2 is the idea. And I'm losing the pawn and still suffering. Of course, it's have chances for here, but not easy. For example, rook d3, maybe it's correct move. But after rook d3, also white also has idea to take, and after rook c3 to play something like h3, and another rook is coming to a7. And I don't see how I can protect. Rook cd8 was proposition. Rook cd8. Interesting. But okay, bishop takes c5. And it's not draw yet. Because if rook d1 takes, still chances. If rook b1, bishop b4 is possible. Okay, so this unpleasant position, how to defend this? So bishop c4 I cannot play. I played h6 and lost a pawn. So f5 looks like the most logic. Rook f1 check. Where rook f1? This. Bishop f2. Rook cd8. Aha. Rook f1 check. Okay, but okay, what is this? King g3. What is my? So it's beautiful motif, but black don't achieve so. So queen c5 was really bad move. Okay, bishop e6 pro. So I started to play. So now a6. And now queen c5 was bad move, and now I'm in trouble. So rook d7 I played, and after rook b1, I have some problems. So f5 anyway looks like the best, but this bishop f2 to play. I'm losing the pawn, however. And will suffer for a long time. Bishop c4 is possible, but I'm pawn down. Rook b6, for example. It doesn't look like easy draw. So after rook b5, I'm in trouble. So probably I missed it in my calculation when I played queen c5. Also I can take with rook, probably. This was the best solution. Totally possible. Now bishop e1, white should play, and now even this I can consider. Sorry, it was another proposition. After f5, e takes f5, uh, bishop f2, bishop d3, rook takes c5, rook takes c5, bishop takes c5, and b5. Yes, black has good chances for draw, but okay, white can try something. White can play h4, king f3, king g3. So probably you mean why not bishop e3 after what? So f5 certainly was better. Okay, but and also well, if bishop e3, I will just take on c3, and this I don't think that white has serious chances to win in this position. So bishop takes b6, white should play. I can play rook c8. Looks like drawish. So even if I will lost pawn b7 and exchange one pair of rook, so it looks like I mean something like this. So bishop a5, for example, rook c6, rook b7, rook c1, takes, and h6. It's very close to draw. Maybe I even can try to avoid this line. Maybe I can try to protect my pawn. I'm not sure. Rook c8. Okay, rook b3 I can play. Okay, rook b3 will be the same. Takes, rook b1. Yes. Okay, this position very close to draw. Okay, but it's but maybe I can try not give the pawn. No. If rook e8, bishop a5 anyway, and then rook takes b7. It's coming. Okay, so there is no possibility to defend the pawn. Yes, but okay. Yes, I can play. Yes, rook c2 is possible. Yes, rook takes b7, h. Hard to believe that white can win in this position. Okay, but two, and now, yes, after bishop e1, so rook d7 is forced. But why forced? Maybe rook c7 was possible. Of course, rook d7 looks like more natural, but maybe rook c7 was better, because now rook b5, bishop c4 I have. If bishop g3, I can play rook c d7, and I'm preparing for check from d1. Probably this was more precise. And somewhere I have idea bishop c8. So probably this was correct move. Instead of natural but bad. Yes, maybe rook c7 was stronger, surprisingly. Yes, I understand that rook d7 much more natural, but rook c7 after h6, in which moment h6? But rook c7 has many ideas. Bishop g3, rook c d7. Okay, maybe bishop g3 is correct. If rook c d7, bishop f2. But now b6 is possible. Oh, okay, b6. b6 is possible, but after b6, h3. But now f5 I have. Oh, good idea. After rook c7, rook e1. How rook e1? Bishop on e1. Rook d1. Okay, but what is my problem? Okay, takes, and any move. h6, for example. Or rook d7. It looks like easy draw. So rook c7, yes. Bishop g3, rook c d7. If bishop f2, f5 is very important. Okay, after e5, position is blocked already. So I don't think that white has serious winning chances here. But okay, for example, if I just try to protect my pawns. Now I have d5 square for my bishop if rook a7. Yes, it looks like so rook c7 was stronger. So rook d7 natural but bad. And after rook b5, I'm... No, of course, yes, I had this chance, which was correctly with this b5. Probably it was the best choice. So, to put bishop on c4 and just wait. But it's still suffering. But I play h6. Now white has more pawns. And it's good for them. And rook b1, I cannot protect my pawn, surprisingly. So if f5 now, he just taken on f5 and taken on b7. It's important. And I'm suffering. But question, what about rook c7? if I'm just playing this. Because if, for example, bishop g3, I can play rook c6. If rook b7, rook b7. It's yes, bishop g3, of course. Yes. I had illusions that I'm exchanging rook. I'm taking rook from c6 and rook d1 check, but it's okay. Yes, of course, bishop g3 and white just wins the pawn. So now I'm in big trouble because I cannot protect my pawn. Okay, so I played bishop c4. Takes. Now I didn't play f5. I didn't exchange pawn, and my pawn c5 is much worse than can I right play rook a7? Yes, here bishop g3. You mean after rook c7 here? If I play after bishop e1, now rook a7, probably you mean. Yes, I mentioned this move, but my idea was to play bishop c8. And at least I am not losing the pawn immediately. So my next moves will be h6, rook d3, probably f5 somewhere. So, okay, of course white is better, but he cannot to win the pawn as easily in the game. c4, okay, c4 is possible, but okay, rook c6. Oh, or even rook d4 is possible. Now c4 pawn is weak. So I don't see any danger for black here. Rook a8. Rook a8, okay, you have threat. Rook takes b7 is threat. If h6, now it's unpleasant. Okay, so rook d4 probably was my mistake. Yes, now you are right. So bishop a5 and rook takes b7 and rook b8 is coming. Yes, okay, so rook d4 is bad. I need to admit my mistake, but after c4 I will play rook c6. Only after bishop a5 I will play rook d4. If not bishop a5, now rook a8 probably is possible also. Yes, this idea rook takes b7. No, but okay, now I can play rook f8. This idea to prepare bishop e6 in some moment. Okay, I am still suffering, but rook a6 may be possible as well. White can take and bishop f. Okay, rook a6 may be possible as well. Maybe. Also, black has chances for draw, but rook b8 unpleasant than bishop f2. So probably better to keep rook on c6 to defend the pawn. So anyway, rook c7 was better than rook d7. So I lost this. Rook a2, h4. Okay, so now it's very difficult to defend because I didn't play. Yes, rook b8 is full. So I didn't play f5 and I have very weak pawn c5. And if I play c4 in some moment, bishop f2 and bishop d4 is coming. So it's difficult for me. I played rook e2. I don't know. Okay, and anyway, it's not easy to win. Probably I should give something like this, bishop d2, bishop e6, something like this. Still some chances for draw, although very... I played rook e2, but bishop d2. Yes. My rook in trouble and bishop has good square f4. Of course, still not easy to win here, but also not easy to defend this position. Maybe bishop e6 was the best. I play king f8. King f8. King f8 was bad idea because yes, yes, because now I'm losing. So it was very bad for. I need to keep my king somewhere on g8 or h7 for defensive goals. So probably. Okay, maybe f6 was possible. So, bishop f4 with idea of rook c2, e5. But now, however, I can play this, and if king h2, bishop f1 probably. If this, this, and rook c2, I have idea bishop f1. If e5, bishop f1, so I have chances for draw. But king f8 was very bad idea, and after bishop, okay, probably here, but here rook c7 is threat. So I cannot improve my... also bishop d6, so king f8 was terrible move, was decisive mistake. So rook c2 only move, and now I'm losing because I cannot protect my pawn g7. So now I'm losing. It's a beautiful idea. I don't know, probably bishop f8 also was possible. It's interesting question why he didn't play bishop f8. Also looks like very good. Because bishop g7 is threat, so only move rook c1, king h2. I cannot play g5 because bishop takes h6, so after g6, bishop takes h6, bishop g5 is coming, so white is winning. But okay, probably bishop takes c5 is... Rook takes g7 in which moment? Rook takes g7. Here rook takes... No. Rook takes g7, rook c1, check. Rook takes g7, impossible. No, okay, probably bishop takes c5 is even simple because bishop d4 now is threat and bishop f8 still threats. So Probably this is even more simpler way for win. So check. G6 I played. So I cannot protect my pawns. If rook d1, bishop f8 is winning. If g5, bishop h6, and bishop g5 check. So I played g6, bishop e3, but now I am 2 pawns down. I'm trying to do something. King d7 I played, but why not king d6? Okay, anyway, he has rook d8. And if king e6, he is preparing bishop d2 and 2 pawns is enough for win. Without rook, I'm not sure, maybe it's draw, but with rook, of course, with rooks on the board, white should win this. Black cannot exchange rooks, for example, this, rook c4, rook d5. So I played king c7. Okay, my hope was rook d2, but now, of course, rook f8. He is not defending the pawn g2, but he utilizing my weakness. I cannot defend f7 now. After f5, he is just taking. So king d6, rook f7, rook g3, f6, rook f8. Also, I have problem with coordination with my pieces. Bishop f4 is threat. I have no time for bishop e2, so king d2, check. e5. Now he just want to push e6, e7, so bishop h3 only move, rook f8, king h2 now threat, so bishop f5 only move. Very nice finish. Rook c2 instead of rook g3? Oh, maybe, but hard to believe that it's possible to survive after king g1. I played rook g3 and after rook f8, bishop f5, he just took and study like queen. h5, I cannot do anything, so I resigned. Okay, so my plan for today was annotate 3 games, but it's too late for continue, so I want to sleep. Thanks for attention. So probably my next report will be. Of course, I will continue this match. So game 3, 4, and other, but in next day. So for today, game 2 will be enough. But also, I will try to annotate some round from St. Louis. Can you tell me when they are starting to play in St. Louis? Okay, thanks for your attention. In St. Louis, when they are playing? So today, round 6, right? Today, round 6, right? Okay, right now. Okay, they are playing right now, but today is round 6, right? Ukrainian. So tomorrow round 7, right? tomorrow around 7. Today is around 6, tomorrow around 7. Okay, but in which time they are starting? Today 6, tomorrow 7, I understand. But which time they are starting to play? When tomorrow game will start? Oh, of course I can check it, but maybe somebody knows, it will be more easy for me. 9 p.m. In Ukraine they are starting. 9 p.m. in Ukraine. 9 p.m. Ukraine. So tomorrow in 9 o'clock. Okay, so European time is 8 o'clock. No. If okay, can you tell me European time? For example, Paris time, when will start? So if in Ukraine 9, in Paris 8. So yes, 6. 7 Paris time. So 8 o'clock in Ukraine they will start. No, time. So 8 o'clock. Okay, so I will try to do something. So tomorrow will be Friday. Okay, so I think it's possible I can try to be online, and probably I even will comment. So Ukrainian time 8 for sure, right? I need to be sure. So 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock in Ukraine. Yes, between England 2 hours. Okay, I need to check anyway. Okay, I will check myself. I will visit the official site and I will check when they will start. So if it will be night, but so I think. Yes, Bulgarian same time zone. Yes, Bulgaria has same time zone. Okay, so 9 p.m. But it's problem. For example, I can comment online, but probably I I can do it just till some moment because. Because 15 minutes delay. There is. I don't know who is leading, so I cannot answer for this question who will win because I don't know who is leading at all. So I didn't check. But if I comment online, I'm just thinking. So I cannot comment from start to the end because it will be too long. It will be not just too long, but I mean too late in Ukraine. So if classical time control, usually games during 3 hours. Okay, but maybe I can comment till some moments and then evaluate position and go to sleep, something like this. I can try. Okay, so I understand situation. I will think. I will make my decision. Anyway, thanks for your attention. So for today, I need to go to sleep. Goodbye.